Okay, open up your book to page 396, lesson 5, circles. Let's look at the key ideas. Pi, expressed as 3.14, is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. To find circumference, multiply pi by the diameter. And the diameter, let's get a white screen, is always so when we're talking about diameter of a circle, and I'm not perfect at drawing one, but I will. So diameter is always, as your book is pointing out, all the way across from one end of the circle to the other. We call that diameter. Okay. Let's look at the lesson. Look at the top of page 396, and let's begin. Circumference and area. A circle is a closed set of points that are all the same distance from a single point. The center of the circle. The circumference of a circle is its perimeter, or the distance around the circle. So we call this, see, not a square shape, this is a circle. So when we go around, so remember we had talked about perimeter with triangle or square shape, but however, now we're talking about going around a circle, and we call that what? Circumference. Okay? Now, the area of a circle is the space inside. So everything inside, if we were going to color this, everything inside the circle, we call it the area. All the space is called the area. Okay? Next paragraph. To find perimeter and area of a circle, you need to know two other measures of a circle. The diameter is a line segment with endpoints on the circle that passes through the center of the circle, which we just showed you. So here they mention it again. From one end of the circle passes through to the other end. That's diameter. The radius is a line segment that connects the center of the circle to any point on the circle. As you can see from the diagram, the radius is 1/2 the diameter. That's right. So all the way across is diameter, and then half of the circle would be radius. So we could look at it like this. That's radius, half of the circle. Okay? Next paragraph. The formulas for circumference, if we want to get around the circle, the perimeter around the circle, we call it what? Circumference. So if we want to measure circumference, the next paragraph says the formula for circumference and area use a special quality, or a special quantity called pi. And you'll see pi expressed this way. Letter pi, or the Greek symbol pi. Okay? Pi is the ratio of the circumference to the diameter. It is equal to approximately 3.14. So pi equals 3, and they told me when I was in school, always remember pi is equal to 3.14. Most college students know this, okay? So you have to memorize that. That will be important as you start using formulas to calculate problems. As far as we know, the digits for pi continue infinitely. So calculations with pi are always approximations. For the mathematical reasoning test, you will use 3.14 as the value of pi. Below is the formula for finding the circumference of a circle. So circumference is equal to what? Pi times diameter. So we can say C equals pi times D, diameter. Let's look at example 1. A china plate has a gold rim. If the plate's diameter is 10.5 inches, what is the distance around the rim to the nearest tenth of an inch? So the plate's diameter is 10.5. All right, so we know, let's erase this. Okay, so we know what? Diameter. So let's write diameter in. 10.5. And since we know 10.5, let's go ahead and write in pi. 3.14. So now you have 3.14 times 10.5. And if you put that in your calculator, 3.14 times 10.5 equals 32.97. So circumference equals 32.97, which you can round that, as they show you in your book, to 33 because the 0.9, right? Use this formula to find the area of a circle. Area equals pi times radius squared. So let's look at example 2. Let's get a clean screen. The circular surface of a satellite component must be covered with heat-resistant tiles. If the radius of the component is 4 meters, what is the area in square meters? Okay, so they gave us radius, so let's use the formula for getting area of a circle. So the formula is area is equal to pi radius squared. And in the problem, they gave us the radius. So the radius is 4 meters, so we're going to put 4 meters squared. And pi is always 3.14. So 3.1 area equals 3.14. Area equals 3.14 times 4 squared. So let's do what's in parentheses using the order of operations. 4 times 4 is 16. Times 3.14. So 3.14 times 16 will give us 50.24. Square meters. And we'll just abbreviate that, meters. Look at the bottom of 396. They give you a little note here. It says, in some situations, you may need to solve for either the diameter or radius. Remember, the diameter is twice the radius. Diameter equals 2 times r. And the radius is 1/2 the diameter. Radius equals half d. Okay, let's look at the top of page 397, and then we'll conclude our lesson on circles. Example 3. What is the circumference of circle B to the nearest tenth of a centimeter? Well, we're going to use the formula, right? So let's just write the formula. Let's get a blank screen right quick. So we know circumference is C equal pi times d. So let's calculate it. So notice in this problem, they didn't give us the diameter. They gave us the circumference. But we know if you have diameter, you know circumference. They told us diameter. No, they gave us radius. But we know the formula says pi times diameter, right? So knowing radius, we can get diameter. Because we know that radius is always what? Half of diameter. So if radius is 5, then diameter has to be what? 10. Okay, let's write it in. Because radius is half of a circle. And diameter is the full all the way across. So pi is always 3.14. Get used to that. You'll see it over and over again. And bring down. So C equals 3.14 times 10. Put it in your calculator. Your answer is 31.4 centimeters. Okay, so that'll end our lesson on circles, and we'll stop here.